What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's Antonio checking in. I just want to let you guys know that the universe is sending you signs. Just trust the process. And y'all already know, meditate. A lot of times, we get fed up. The ups, the downs of life, the doubt, the worry, the fear, it starts to kick in. And, you have those days where you're super, and then the next day you probably, or shortly after you being super, or maybe even the next day, you start to crash. You don't feel that super anymore. You don't really trust the process no more. Your conscious mind kick in, that ego kick in, and it tells you that, hey, I got this. And you don't got it. Because every time you think you got it, life shows you that, hey, you don't got this. It's okay to do your part and let the universe do its other part. You got to trust the process. And sometimes trusting that process requires you to detach. Sometimes trusting that process is just simply allowing, letting go, and letting the universe work its magic. You got to learn how to let go of this ideology of time. And sometimes, like for me, when it comes to detaching and trusting the process, I just fill my time up, or fill my days up, or my activities up with things that'll just take my mind off. Whether it's watching a piece of comedy, playing with my daughter, really engaging with my significant other, reading a book, nature, just something that's just fun. Whatever I'm doing, I make sure I'm focused on that. Because if I'm not focused on that, then it's like I'll start to reminisce. Oh man, well, where is that? Where's my manifestation? Where is it? You gotta trust the process. The universe is showing you signs. And those signs are sometimes just a little rub or a pat on the back like, hey, everything is okay. Because everything is going to be okay. But the moment that it's not okay, that's only because the doubt, the fear, the worry, And then that's perfectly normal to experience those. But at the same time, after you experience the doubt, the fear, the worry, the anxiety, there are solutions that you should implement to help aid those, And a lot of times those doubt, fear, worry come in because you letting that physical reality affect your mental, your inner world. You got to know that this is a mental game, and everything is done inwardly. And when you really grasp the concept that everything is done inwardly, you will cultivate an inner strength, or inner wisdom, or inner knowing, So when things don't appear, they don't physically affect you. Now, getting to this point, it's going to take a lot of cultivation. Getting to this point is going to take a lot of ups, downs, a lot of trials and tribulations. But once you arrive to your destination and you look back and you realize, like, man, the things that was once breaking me down, those were the things that I gained strength from. All the things, the setbacks, that's what I gained my wisdom from. That's where I gained my knowledge from. That's why I'm able to apply it. That's why I know if I want to reach a goal or manifest a desire, I have a real formula. And I know that in divine time and divine order, everything will fall into place. I know that if I stay aligned, you feel what I'm saying? I will merge, you feel me, into that desired state. I know in divine time that my inner world will begin to reflect my outer world. And you have to trust this process. You have to trust the signs. And sometimes you got to wait. You got to have that patience. You can never have enough patience. And especially if you coming from a place of guilt, especially if you coming from a place of trauma, a place of hurt, a place of agony, distress, it may take a little bit longer in a sense to lift yourself up. But once you merge from all that pain, once you merge from all that hurt, you know, you start to trust that process. You start to see results from your meditation, from the things that you do to stay in alignment. Once you start to see those results, you build a belief. And that belief is going to be that bridge that carries you to your desire. Easier said than done. I 100% agree. But it has to be done. You know, because if it don't get done, then you're the one that's hurt. You're the one that's depressed. You're the one that's going to be in that loopy situation, you know? That's why I believe that at times, you know, for me, I feel like it's good to sometimes keep your manifestations to yourself until they just appear. You know, mentally, you got to prep your mind. Mentally, you got to consistently tell yourself, because people around you will have these ideologies, these thoughts, these actions that just don't line up to what you think. So you might really be thinking positive or having a positive outcome, but people around you, if you was to tell them people that outcome, they'd be like, man, let's be real, be realistic. And to you, inwardly, that is realistic. You know, this life is full of unexpected events, you know. We can't say that. Life can throw you curveballs. But once you operate on a higher vibration, emit a higher frequency, anything is possible, yo. You cannot sit here and say what's not possible. You can literally walk outside your door and find a bag full of millions of dollars. Sounds far-fetched. It's possible. Somebody can really walk up to you and give you the keys to your dream car and say, hey, what's your dream car? Let's go buy it. Like, what's your dream house? Okay, I'll go buy it. Pay all your bills up for a year. And I'll give you a couple extra dollars till you figure out what you want to do in life. That is, excuse me, that is possible. And if you doubt in that and say, man, that's fairy tale. No, that's imagination. That's possibility. You know, when you're in alignment, you cannot even consciously think what the subconscious or the divine has for you. That's why you got to trust the process. That's why you got to detach. Because it's an infinite amount of possibilities for you to change, for you to manifest your desired reality. All you have to do is stay in alignment. And alignment is not about perfection. Alignment is about knowing what works in the time of need to help you ascend. That's what alignment means to me. And knowing what you need in a time of need, it only comes from experience. You know, it only comes from your past situations. It only comes from the times you don't feel like you couldn't get it right, but then you got it right. What did I do to get right? It only comes from you being aware. And you guys don't have to be this spiritual teacher. You guys don't have to talk about this mind. You guys don't have to get on here and make content true enough. But even if you just was to study the mind a little bit, you know, start developing that belief and you'll be like, oh, okay, I see why this works like this. One of the books that really stood out to me is The Power of the Subconscious by, what's the author name? Charles Murphy, I want to say. If it's not, please forgive me. But that book for me, it really sparked that, oh man, the subconscious? I need to clean my subconscious because that's why I'm getting the results that I'm getting. You guys got to understand that the subconscious, the unconscious, the deep mind, whatever you want to call it, it controls 90 to 95% of your life. So while you consciously thinking you're making the decision, subconsciously, your subconscious has already made that decision before you even consciously made the decision. That's wild. Your subconscious set up things in place so you can continue to fail because you're used to failing. You see what I'm saying? So now you got to reprogram that subconscious so it can set you up for success. set you up so to the point you don't even got to think about money because it's so deep rooted into your subconscious that you become a money magnet. You feel what I'm saying? You got to reprogram that subconscious for healthy relationships, so you ain't got to force a relationship. Effective communication come naturally in your relationship. You see what I'm saying? You got to set these and plant these seeds to your subconscious so it becomes natural. So when it's time for you to eat, you're not reaching for the honey buns. You know, you go get your mango. You see what I'm saying? Because your subconscious is programmed, you know? When it's time to gossip about somebody, you got a subconscious program of like, well, hey, man, let's just send some love, some light to them people, and let's keep on going. Because it's not serving you no purpose. So all of this is a subconscious programming. And to reach the subconscious, you know, you want to access it through a meditation. You know, and I'm probably make a video about sleeping to subliminals, because it's important to sleep to your subliminals at night. It's important to, as you're going into your sleep state, plant those seeds of abundance, plant those seeds of success, plant those visuals of the life that you desire. And in divine time and in divine order, it will happen. You guys just got to trust the process. A lot of times you guys don't trust the process. A lot of times you guys meditate, visualize, you write down, you journal, all of that. And then after that, you go right back to your negative way of thinking. You go right back to those habits that don't serve you. And you wonder why you're not getting the success. And that's why. You know, you got to meditate, get out here, act as if, use that imagination. You can go throughout your day and people don't got to know you're using your imagination. You can have fun with this. That's what it's about. Because we all deserve abundance, but will we all get it? No. But we all deserve it. But you have to show yourself and prove to your subconscious that you are deserving of this abundance. So plant those seeds. Plant those seeds of abundance. Plant those seeds of prosperity. You know, trust the process. And look out for the universal signs to show you that you are aligned. Thank you. Until next time, y'all stay up. Y'all stay grounded. Peace. Hey, y'all, I was cut off phone call. But like I said, you in your dream car, you getting that gas. You know? You walking around your house, and instead of being in the house or your apartment, you in your house. Visualize this stuff, people. Today, I want to challenge you guys to just use your imagination to act as if, you know, it's okay to have fun. This whole manifestation, it's fun. It's supposed to be fun. This is not nothing hard. This is not nothing that's just supposed to be so strenuous. If it's strenuous, that's resistance. And resistance is going to block all your desires. So you guys stay in alignment. You know, meditate. Spend time in nature. Study. Study manifestation. Watch content. Because that's gonna build a belief. That's gonna build that excitement. That's gonna start building that desire. You know, just imagine yourself traveling the world. Imagine yourself eating good food. Imagine yourself just laughing with different people, having a good time. Imagine you just waking up being able to live the life that you desire. Not the life that society wants you to live. Not the life your parents want you to live. If you can wake up and just spend time in nature, that's your life. If you can wake up and travel the world, that's your life. If you can wake up and just go shopping, that's your life. It doesn't matter what no one else is doing. You live your life and take the necessary steps that's needed for you to manifest your desires. It's real, people. It's real. And one of the major keys to this is meditation. Because when you meditate, I'm telling you guys will access these states of consciousness, and you will no longer be able to even go back to certain states of consciousness. Excuse me. But accessing these states, and you can just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep growing, keep accessing, keep elevating. And you'll become a whole new being, a whole new mindset. The things that once bothered you no longer will. You feel what I'm saying? no longer serve purpose. But y'all got to put in the work. And if you don't know where to start, I know y'all gonna get tired of me saying meditate, but if you don't know where to start, you got to meditate. Theta meditations. I'm telling you, find a theta meditation on YouTube. Most of them is pretty good. Use your intuition. This is a time for you to use your intuition, your discernment. Go on YouTube, type in theta meditation music. And just listen to the theta waves, the theta sounds. And you'll probably start to get a little tired, a little, you know, a little sleepy. And as you start to get that tired and sleepy, just allow your little visuals to come through your mind. The visuals that you desire. Just let them come naturally. Even if some of them make you laugh and smile, laugh and smile. It's okay to laugh and smile while you meditate. It's okay. Because the whole goal here is to stay aligned. And you do what you got to do to stay aligned. Thank you. Y'all hold it down. Y'all be good. Y'all be great. Peace.